Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Isaac with Where Are We Going, and today I'm here at the 2026 Tampa RV Supershow at Newmar to showcase a brand new Class C motorhome. I have Matt from Newmar today. He will give us an amazing tour, so let's start the show.
Hey Isaac, I'm Matt Ellinger with Newmar. We are super glad that you're here taking a look at our brand new 2026 Freedom Aire. We just introduced this a couple months ago. It's now on dealers' lots, so they are shipping from the factory. And we're really excited to kind of take you around the exterior and then take you into the interior. You know, what I like to call keeps the Newmar diesel DNA. So what we wanted to do is kind of take that and give you the same quality, innovation, and service that you would get in your 45-foot tag axle diesel pusher, put it into a nice 25-foot shell. The unique thing about what we wanted to do when we were designing this coach is that we took the VS30 chassis and we took the lines of this beautiful Mercedes, and we wanted to blend the lines in with our overhead cab. So for us, it was really important to take those lines and match that with the overhead cab, so you can kind of see how it just kind of flows throughout the motorhome. Plus the nice Newmar lit badge that you can light. Whether you're at the campground or driving, you'll be able to do that. So this is a full body paint coach as well. So what we wanted to do is protect this front with the Diamond Shield protective covering here. So you have this all the way down here for the front. So rock chips or anything that might be, you know, on the road as a road hazard, you have protection on your front of your Mercedes-Benz. Just kind of heading to the exterior of the coach. You know, aluminum wheels on this particular coach with the Mercedes-Benz logo. We wanted to make sure that, you know, you get a heavier tire, better ride. It's not a wheel simulator, so you won't have anything kind of flying off at a certain point as well. We insulate this coach, which is done with Newmar's hallmark hung wall construction. So this is constructed exactly like what you would find on one of our diesel pushers. If we were going to come out with a Sprinter compact Class C, like I mentioned, we really wanted the diesel DNA to be a hallmark of this Freedom Aire. And the other thing about the Freedom Aire name too, which is I think really unique, is one, I love that name, Freedom. You know, this country, you can go see anything that you want. I love the hallmark that kind of brings. It is an Aire product, so we're going to have all hardwood interior. We'll go into that a little bit more. But the other thing too is we felt like any time that we had a Newmar buyer who wanted to downsize into something that gave them the freedom to go places that a 45-foot, 40-foot diesel pusher couldn't go, now you get all of that Newmar technology, all of that quality of build. Now it's right here in your Freedom Aire. The other thing we wanted to do was make sure that when you step inside the coach, you have a nice, real big platform here. So this is all fiberglass. And if you notice the nice, smooth kind of fiberglass that rounds out these corners. I mentioned it before, but this is full body paint. So we use a BASF full body paint on this coach, which when we get around to the other side, I'll show you how we include that paint that goes right into the slide as well. A lot of manufacturers just don't do that. We thought having that diesel DNA, we wanted that on our slides as well. Easy to be able to get in, get out. You know, very nice and sturdy. The other thing I do when I'm here, Isaac, is I knock on that front cab. And the reason I knock on that front cab is because we insulate that entire front cab. So if you do have somebody that is staying in there, keeps the cold air in, keeps the hot air in as well, we insulate that entire front cab along with, you know, trademark insulation that we put on all of our Newmar sidewalls. Pretty unique thing that Newmar does too is I want you to kind of take a look at this. This is great. A couple things that we were really proud of is one, we wanted to do these really big, thick, nice baggage doors. If you notice, this is the same baggage door that you might find on some of our Mountain Aire products, some of our London Aire products. So instead of having some doors that flip up, we really wanted to make sure that we gave you this big, solid door, you know, that's easily shut. Nice area here. They look fantastic, curved on the edge there. And then this was pretty neat too. So This is full pass-through storage underneath the coach, so which is an awesome place where you can put, you know, your tables, you can put the fold-up chairs, you can put fishing poles, whatever that you might need in this space when you're traveling. We wanted to make sure that you had that. The exterior television is standard on this coach, which is really nice. So exterior television, Connex television with a Bose soundbar that is, you know, 110 outlet that you can charge your phone. Take this out, swivel it if you need to. If you wanted to catch the game while you're camping outside, be sure you do that. We talk a little bit about this, the insulation of this coach, for two reasons. One is because I truly think the noise deadening that what our insulation gives you is second to none out in the industry, especially in this space. The other cool thing too is we actually put dual pane windows as standard. So just a standard feature that what you'll find on this coach as well, which we're really proud about, that we were able to keep this and still along the lines of making sure that we had all weather, all season coach. And then this is where we'll talk a little bit more about it too in the interior of the coach, but you have two options on the Freedom Aire. The standard option is actually a propane-based generator with 12-volt AGM batteries. And this, that was featured at the Tampa Supershow right now, this is our Lithionics battery system that's actually 960 amp hours. We tested it a few times. You know, we get asked the question, okay, well, you know, on a beautiful day like today, we have the air conditioning on. If this wasn't plugged in, how long could you do it? Some of the tests that we've done have run up towards to 12 hours. We're really happy about that. Now that could fluctuate with what you have on, you know, if it's 120 degrees versus 70 degrees like we see here, but that's generally what you're gonna get to. And what's really important too about what we use is our Victron inverters. If you notice, this is the Victron inverters paired with a Lithionics battery system. We think, and after rounds and rounds and rounds of testing, that this is the best combination that you can find. We tested it for longevity, we tested it for performance, and we felt that pairing these two, we did it last year with all of our Class A's and Super C's, and it turned out really good. We had great feedback. Some additional storage here. This back cap, we talk about diesel DNA, we talk about Newmar DNA. And if you notice this back cap, this is the exact same back cap as we feature on our Ventanas. So we talk about either following this or this following you out on the road. This is just the hallmark, trademark Newmar, right? So Gen Y hitch, which is a 5,000 pound hitch. With the cargo carrying capacity, when you do most of the, you know, most of the math to kind of figure out what you can tow, we're right around that 41 to 43,000 pounds, just depending on what options that you get. So that's where you're going to be as far as towing capacity here, but 500 pound tongue weight because we use a 5,000 pound Gen Y hitch. The other thing that I think is really neat about this coach too, again, one, the fiberglass back cap, I absolutely love. It looks dynamite. But two, we wanted to put your we wanted to put your brake lights in a way that if you were towing something of some substance, if you had a big vehicle behind you, it wasn't overshadowing, so people can see that you're braking. 30 amp is the service that you're going to get on a Freedom Aire. We'll take a look at this little storage area here. So this is your wet bay. You do get a whole house filter, so you know, whether you're washing your hands in your kitchen sink or your bathroom sink, or whether you're taking a shower, all of that water is going to be filtered for you. So that's the nice thing here. So standard wet bay, but again, just, you know, the really nice features of being able to easily hook up. This is what I was talking about too. So when you see the paint of this coach, you know, the cut and buff, the shine of what it has, but if you see how the paint flows through this slide, this is going to be different, very, very different. And speaking of different, you know, we traditionally use, HWH hydraulic slides, but they're too heavy for this coach. So we actually are using a little bit different slide made by Ball. That's a cable-driven slide, which is different for us. So we tested it a bunch of times, and we found that this was the system that worked really well coming in and out. And you know, the opportunity for failure was at the lowest point with these particular slides when we tested a number of different slides that are out in the marketplace. We talked a little bit about, I love how this kind of blends into the paint. dual pane windows here, and then you'll just have your additional storage area over here. That's the other side of that pass-through storage. This is pretty unique too. Check this out. This is kind of cool. So when you choose the option of the all-electric lithium power pack, you actually get a hydronic heater, which is pretty neat, right? Which is traditionally what we use in some of the larger diesel pushers that are out there. Hydronic heats, heats faster, instant hot water, uses electricity and the diesel fuel that's tied to this Mercedes-Benz diesel. So I'll open this up and you can see what that looks like underneath. And this Timberline system works really well with the Mercedes, and we were really happy how it turned out. But again, we wanted to think of what makes Newmar different. What can we build the value with? And what we thought is instead of having a tank, a propane-based heater that was 15,000, 30,000 BTUs that are underneath there, we wanted to make sure that we kind of had similar to what we do on the diesel side. Coach.
And this is a 4500 chassis?
This is, yeah. We knew using things like real wood, putting things like a Timberline system, using Lithionics battery system, we knew we'd be on the heavier side. So we actually partnered with our brothers over at Grand Design. We're both using the same 4500 chassis.
And what's the total length of this rig?
It's 25 feet and some change.
Under 26.
Yeah, under 26, absolutely. So if we're looking at one other thing about the exterior of this coach, I love what we did is we blended in, to have a what we call integrated awning. So a lot of coaches in this space, you'll just see the regular awning on the exterior, it'll come in and out. But what we wanted to do, again, is put it more like what you'd have on your big diesel pusher. So we blended it inside the coach on top of it, and then we also put the false awning on the other side too. So the nice thing is when you look at the back of what we tried to do is we wanted to give you that DNA of what a Newmar is. So I love how that looked. And then on the other side, you can see we didn't just want to have one side that had the integrated awning. Actually, you can see it over there too, yeah. We wanted to give you both. So Isaac, as we go inside the coach, one of the unique things that Newmar does on this new Freedom Aire, so I love this lit up grab handle, so this is gonna light up at night. You can have a code that locks your door, right, which is really nice. And if you listen you can go, got your doorbell there, which is super cool, I think, right? And again, you don't find too many times in this space. But just, again, the door was really important to us. We wanted to make sure that you have a nice shade here for privacy. So super easy, screen door, regular door on the outside. But here's a unique little factor too is, I wanted to make sure that we had something that was quick, right? So if you wanted to put the dog's leash in here, if you wanted to put the poop bags in here, if whatever it is, shoes, so people don't go inside. Normally you might find some AGM batteries in this space, but since we went with the all-electric version of this coach, we wanted to make sure that you had some really unique storage areas here, especially for stuff that you can just reach inside and get. And then of course the electric step, so it's not a manual step and it's an electric step. But come on in, we'll show you the inside. Okay. Standard on all Freedom Aires, you're going to have an overhead bunk. We felt like this was a couple's coach, but we felt like if you were a couple and if you finally have the freedom to take this little thing anywhere you wanted to go, hey, let's take some grandkids, right? 1, 2, plural. So you have a really nice space here, really comfortable space. This is all ABS plastic that we have up here. You have 110 outlets here. And Isaac, I want to show you a unique thing. I love this, linear lighting that you have up front here, linear lighting here. That's pretty neat. But what is really neat is I love this automotive style air conditioning. So we have the AC on right now, really quiet. This is a FreshJet 4 air conditioner. It's a 15,000 BTU AC and heat pump. And we've been using that FreshJet 4 since the beginning that we had on the demo, which is really nice. So we love how that turned out. It's quiet, it works, it's great. And then you have the opportunity to put some additional people or for storage. So you have, you know, instead of a manual version of the shade here, I just press this button. You know, now you have this, you know, as a really nice sleeping area here if you just want to relax, or if you wanted to stargaze, just open up that shade and enjoy, right? The other thing that's pretty cool too is, so if you do have somebody up here, or what I like to say is, if you're using this for storage and you had some guests over and you wanted to lock your closet, right? You know, put this back here. And I love having this as a nice version to, as not only a privacy, but in a way to hide what's back there too, because you might have some storage area that's there. So really nice, cool touch that we did as well. Okay, some unique features, you know, to Newmar that you might not see in this compact Class C market is one, I have to touch on this beautiful Italian leather. So we cover the front 2 seats, you know, we have the airbags, and what I love about this is just some of the stitching, and then right here you'll have an embossed Newmar logo, if you can get that. I love how that turned out. And this is our new, you know, brown interior, but like I said, this is all genuine leather. There's no leather substitute, there's no pleather, there's no ultra leather. In a Freedom Aire, if it's an Aire product, and if you know Newmar, your Aires are gonna get everything that you wish that you had in some of the larger coaches. So this is just a great feature that we wanted to put on here. And then we're really proud of how a couple things turned out here. We'll go into these theater seats. So, you know, for us to have big, nice theater seats that, you know, we could have it as the theater seats, put this down. You got the little cup holders here, which is really nice. If you wanted this to be a couch, throw that back and then you can sit just like this. And then this is actually motorized here. It comes back. But wait, there's more. So I'm here, right? And I kind of want, you know, my head, you know, I kind of want to do this because the television's in that space. Well, what we did is we actually put the headrests up, so you can do that as well. Or if I wanted to go back and take a little nap, certainly I can do that. So just a little difference, right? Both sides do exactly what I just demonstrated there. And then if you were here and you wanted to get some work done, or if you were watching television, you had your, for me it'd probably be a bowl of cereal or most likely a bowl of popcorn. Boom. I have this here, little work area. You got a little USB port, so if you wanted to charge your phone, if you're just kind of hanging out here. But this is what I like about this space, is that it's very flexible, right? You know, you could use it as a couch, or you can use this, you know, as a true theater seat option here. Storage above here, which is really nice. We wanted to put the dual pane window that actually right behind you. You could use this as a screen if you had it open, or for nighttime, just go ahead and lower those shades. And then you have this right inside here. Some good storage back there. You can see this little notch, that's where you're gonna open it, and it's soft touch close as well. And then the other thing we did is we used all ATC. If you wanna swing by here, I'll show you. You know, this is your really nice 10-inch control panel here. So you can control, you know, you can get a good idea of digitally what your tanks are, see what the interior of the coach is. You can set the climate, the mode, we have it on cool. You needed some heat, just pop that on the heat version. You can see exactly what this has here, the hydronic burner up here on the climate side. If you wanted to open up the fans, we're gonna open up that kitchen fan. You can see it open right up there, but all touchscreen, 10-inch here, 5-inch here, and then 5-inch in the back as well. You can do everything on that 5-inch that I can do on this 10-inch as well. So what makes us different, right? Genuine leather inside the coach, really flexible space with the theater seats, just this really giant 87-inch galley, right? Just, you know, nice big dual pane windows. I love that. We wanted the area where it could fit a really big trash can underneath that that area here, because again, we're used to big spaces. We're used to 45, 42, 43 feet. Now we have 25 feet, but we still wanted to, you know, we just wanted to give you a couple things like what your diesel pusher would have, you know, what makes, you know, Newmar a Newmar. we'll take these out, right? And we'll flip this over so you can see this side. A nice cutting board on this side, but this is what I love. Just this gigantic space. We wanted this to be, you know, really home-like features. So same thing here, 110 outlets here as well. A really great storage that you'll find here. And Isaac, I want to show something that's pretty neat here. This is what I love about being part of Newmar, is that you have an owner support. Jacob is the Freedom Aire brand specialist. So at any point, you can open this up and you can call Jacob, who, by the way, takes his phone home. And when he's not at home, we have a service to make sure that you know, you get service on the road. But what's most important is not when you buy it, it's after you buy it, right? At any point, you can call Jacob and say, hey, listen, I'm having trouble, you know, this heater isn't coming on. Did I forget something, or something may be going on? So for me, it was really important to show off what that is. And again, soft touch close. And when you open this up, you know what, I told you we'd show you a little bit of that construction on the inside here. So what I love, that soft touch close. And then this is pretty neat too. So not only did I tell you have this big countertop space here, but now you have a cutting board as well. You know, we wanted to give you some additional storage if you needed it while you were cooking inside the coach. You know, you can see the size of these drawers. When you get, we talked about this being an all-electric option. It's the induction cooktop. So there is no propane aboard this motorhome whatsoever. So there's just diesel fuel and a battery. You know, we wanted to have an ample amount of storage back inside here. But you know, what I like is just the dividers, right? So if you wanted to repurpose where these are at any point, you know, whatever you wanted to put inside here, you certainly can, you know, to what your liking is. But just to kind of show you again, it was really important for us to make sure that we used real hardwood cabinetry. You know, we are blessed to have the Amish do a lot of our woodworking, if not all of our woodworking. So for us to have that blessing to see what they do on a daily basis, this is not technoform. This is real wood cabinetry that you'll find inside this space. We really made a conceited effort that if we're going to build this coach, we wanted to make sure that it had exactly what a Newmar is. And to me, it's this beautiful woodworking inside. This is your traditional Murphy bed setup. In a lot of motorhomes that you can have a Murphy bed, and then you get a couch here, you know, which is okay. And then you could either get a dinette, or you could get theater seats. Well, what I love about the innovation that Newmar created with this Freedom Aire is now you don't have to choose. Now I can get all three. A full-size bed, Murphy bed that comes down. I have the dinette now, right, that I can use as a workspace. And then I have theater seats. So I don't have to choose which one I want to put in there. I got it all. This little area here, you know, when we first designed it, was very plain. It had a lot of wallboard and it didn't have much, you know, shape, and it didn't have much woodworking to it. It was just this beautiful textured wallboard that you see here. These little sconces that light up, but these are actually the legs to the bed, which I'll show you in a second, how we turn this into a bed. So this is pretty cool. This comes up. I'm gonna put this down. You're gonna lock that into place. There we go. That stays like this. You're gonna take these two off. The other thing I want to show you, Isaac, is, you know, again, 25 feet, we recognize that there just isn't a lot of storage space. So what we did is we actually created some storage space underneath these seats too. You know, these are going to be the legs. And then I am going to use our button that is on this 10-inch screen. It says bed up and down. Are you ready? Just the sheer size of this bed, I'm really impressed with. Fits two people very easily. We give you a little nook over here that if you wanted to plug in your phone, you have some USB outlets, and then that's a portable charger back inside there. And you can see, you know, when I'm on here, right, you know, on here. And what's nice too is that you can have your pillows, you can keep this bed made, and if you needed to get up, you come out and you have easy access, really nice easy access to get back into the bathroom or in this area that you might need it for. I'm gonna put this bed up. But what I love is the flexibility. Just the flexibility that it gives you is to have a workspace, a sleep space, and then a recreational space and a space, for kitchen use as well. We really wanted to create a 25-footer that looks like a 28-footer, 30-footer on the inside. Maybe, has a Baystar sort of feel to it as far as size-wise. So just put these back. There we go. Now we're back to sitting. And then if you wanted to, you could watch television as well. Speaking of the TV, we didn't really get into it. This Connex TV is a smart TV. So you can do all of your streaming on here, which is a really nice feature. You got the sound bar as well to help you, with some speakers. We wanted to really, utilize this fit and finish of not exposing any of the wires, really kind of cutting that off here as well. And then your breakers, very easy access. And again, if you have somebody that is sleeping up in this area here, you can tilt that television here. Or if somebody's reading a book, you can tilt this television here and I can see it a little bit easier. So you got your fan, your light, you have a microwave, which does have an air fry feature to it, which is really nice. Convection oven and microwave. So your refrigerator is going to be this Envision refrigerator, which is really nice. Good size that you can fit a lot of what you need for consecutive weeks, if not, a weekend warrior that they have it. So refrigerator and a really good size freezer as well. Storage above it. And what I'd like here too is just the fit and finish of the pantry. Push in, pull out. You can adjust these sizes if you really wanted to. But just a really nice pantry, and again, some additional storage here. I like this door too. So for privacy, what we did is we actually had a solid door. We actually hollowed this out to save weight, but I still think we didn't change the design of it at all. So what you have here. So I talked a little bit about it here. You have the nice bowl style sink, so to wash your hands. You got some additional storage down under here. This is where your toilet paper holder is going to go as well. Open this up, and this is where you have adjustable shelving and hang storage back inside here as well. And on that outside storage that didn't open, this is my little secret compartment back here. So this is where, if you had some elongated storage, if you see that down there, you can use that. If you needed a little taller storage, just go ahead and utilize that.
I wonder if that could be used for dirty laundry.
Oh, it's a great idea. Yeah, I love that idea. You just keep the laundry chute there, and then the basket, and then just...
And then when you're outside, you just grab it
Love
out
it.
and take it straight to...
Love it. Isaac, I think you just showed me what we're going to use that for. Again, good size here, sitting on the toilet. I'm kind of a bigger dude, so I fit really nicely here. And then this is what we're really proud of too. Step inside the shower. This is some of the same shower that you may find in some of our Aire products, Mountain Aire, London Aire. You may see this, still have this setup. Shower is going to be, we couldn't have, due to space limitations, we couldn't use a swing out glass door. So what we did is we used this door here, which is really nice. And then when you want to, it squeegees itself. So it actually cleans, when you're coming in and out. So again, 6 foot for me. I'm not in the bubble. You still have plenty of room in here. You can take this off. My wife would love this version. I'm probably more this version, like what we said. But this is really unique too. I think people don't know that we have an aquamizer inside this coach. And if you don't know what an aquamizer does, is that it recirculates the water until it's at the temperature in which you suggest that it should be. Then this little blue area will light up, and then that's when you switch it on, and then that's when you're going to conserve the water. So 110 outlet back here, but again, fan, and then you also have an air conditioning duct, back here as well.
Like, the feeling is I am in a Class A, Super C, that luxury that we're used to.
Thank you, yeah.
But you made a great job shrinking all that in, to a 25-footer.
Yeah. We were just excited to share this. You know, we were excited for people to one, get into a Newmar, right? That it's never been into a Newmar before and enjoy the luxury that Newmar is really known for. What I love about Newmar is the flexibility to give you 6 different colors in this leather. You can two-tone and match your cabinets, so you could go all chestnut with Summit uppers, or you could go, you know, all of this beautiful chestnut color, or you could go all white. The other coach that's featured in this coach has the Morel gray cabinets, you know, paired with a little bit darker floor, and you can mix and match. And we have 6 different exteriors. We have 6 different wood designs. And if you kind of, you know, add in the two-tone, it's more than that.
I have 2 questions.
Sure.
One of them is, it sleeps 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Does it have seat belts for more than 2?
Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so the seat belts are...
Seat belts are in the theater seats.
In the theater seats.
So Isaac, you asked about cargo carrying capacity of this particular unit that we have showcased at the show. It is 895 pounds. So that's, and the sticker can be found right on the exterior of your entry door. Okay, this is beautiful and gives you a ton of room when the slide out's out, but what happens when the slide out's in? And really important to us too, right? So we recognize that not everyone's gonna sit, you know, co-pilot for a 5-hour duration drive. So when the slide out is in, this will actually, you will have access to everything that you'd have access to, with the exception of putting the bed down. So this will all come in to right where my foot is here. You can still use this as a workspace. You can still get into the kitchen. You can still get into the refrigerator. You know, most importantly, you can still go back and use the restroom. Egress for us is anything, you know, right around 13, 14 and a half inches was really important for us to have egress inside the coach. Shout out to everybody that's in Napanee that helped make this a reality. It was a long time coming, but the final product we're really, really proud of, and we're hoping to really give customers that luxury feel and miles of happy memories out on the camping trail.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and definitely leave me comments below. I will reply to you as soon as possible. Until the next time, see you on the road.